Welcome fellow folders to a brand new video, and here we have the next origami partial tutorial, and it is this incredible Wyvern dragon. I'm not sure who the designer is. My friend Toya posted it to the Facebook page back in April, so I'm not too sure who the designer is. If you know who it is, of course please let me know so I can credit them, etc. But here we have the crease pattern for this really cool dragon. Now, the reason that I want to make this dragon is simply because it's different from all the rest. I have not made a Wyvern dragon. Is that how you say it? Wyvern? Wyvern? I'm pretty sure it's Wyvern. Anyway, I've never made one of these before. I've got a really sick sheet of paper upstairs ready to go ahead and crease this once I film this first part. So basically, if you are new to partial tutorials, what they are is I show you, they are not full tutorials, so by the end of this video you will not have every single crease. These tutorials are designed to help you get better at reading and folding and creasing crease patterns. Now how it works is, I will show you X amount of creases, like 50% of the creases. The video will stop, then you will use what I show to make the rest, and then I'll collapse it in the next video. That will be the fun part, collapsing this whole really cool dragon to see what it looks like. But for the sake of this video, that is how it's going to work. Now, just so we know, because I will be flipping the paper around quite a bit, this is the top and the bottom. So the top part is the head, where all these little squares are. The bottom is the tail, right down here. So I'm just going to write a small little T, just at one corner. And then a small B on the bottom. So that way it's easy for you to know which orientation the paper is, or which way I have it. So now we have diagonals. We don't actually fully need them, but I would recommend making them because we are going to get a few more references using the diagonals. What the designer or whoever added these onto this doesn't show. And I will be colouring in the lines as we make them, both on the actual paper and on the crease pattern, so you can keep track as well. Also, if you really should, this will be in the description, the link to the crease pattern. Print it off, colour them in as you go along, so it's easier for you to follow in case I miss one. And then, yeah, so it's good for you to have a little double backup. Right, so let's get this out of the way. I think I'll cut out the parts where I colour in the lines. I'm going to do it on the mat because I'm using a black pen and the paper's quite thin, and I might go through and colour the mat. I would happily colour this, but not the actual mat. I'm going to check in a good place to put this. A little bit orange pen. Okay, so first of all, we're just going to have it so it's top at the bottom. Top at the top, bottom at the bottom. So head at the top, tail at the bottom. And we already have the diagonals, so if you don't already, make those. I'm not going to colour them in, simply because we don't fully need them on the crease pattern, but they will help for references. So first of all, what we're going to do is, we're going to, where's my little yellow tool? Everything but prepared except this. So what we're going to do now is, we are just, if you can tell, we have very faint blue lines on the crease pattern. We're just going to make this angle bisector. So this edge to the middle, we're going to make it all the way up. I'm not going to colour in this crease simply because we don't fully need it. We only need tiny part of it. Now again, make sure that you are taking your time, you are being as precise as possible, because you want this to be as neat as possible, the base. And of course your references. I may be rushing it ever so slightly, although I will take my time, but things may not extremely line up, so just be aware that you're taking your time. So now, if we look, what do we notice? We notice that we have this diagonal, which is the one going across, and we have made this bisect right here. Now, where these two creases intersect, we have a line going straight down. So we're going to make that. So we're going to turn the paper like this, and then make this line straight down from this intersection right here. So this is it right here, the bisector, the diagonal. I'm just going to turn it this way, just so I can see it easier. Again, be as precise as possible, and then straight down. Even though we don't actually need these creases, these are just here to get the references. I would still recommend making it, because if you have these references perfect, then everything else following these creases will be perfect as well. So now we have this crease, and we are just going to make a 45-degree crease from where this point ends. So bring this edge of the paper up to the crease we just made, and if you notice, stop it where it hits the diagonal. You can extend it a little bit more, just so it's easier to make the next crease. So that's where the crease starts, and then hits the diagonal. I'm going to extend it a little bit more. And now we have this reference right here. So where these two connect, we're going to make a crease straight across, all the way from one end to the other, and then we can colour in this one, because this is the first crease that we need. So reference is right here, this is diagonal, the crease comes down, and the crease we just made. So this intersection, straight across. And now repeat that process on this side, so we can make this crease on this side. Now we have made this crease. Even though we made it all the way down, I'm going to use where this crease hits the diagonal right here to extend it all the way up. That way it saves you doing all this again on that side. So this is the crease we made. I'm going to turn it around. Now the crease we made is here, the diagonal is here, this intersection, straight up. That would help if I can see the crease. Just like that. Now we have both of those creases going all the way down, before we colour in, because we don't need all of this coloured in, we are going to quickly make this little rectangle, long rectangle, so we know where this crease ends. Then we can colour in this and then the rectangle, and then it will be a lot easier. So what we do is we take this corner, fold it to the centre and just make a little pinch. And then we take this corner to the pinch mark, another pinch, and then once more this corner to the pinch mark, and then we make the full crease. So let me just show you on this. We take the bottom corner to the exact centre, make a pinch mark, we take the corner to the crease we just made, pinch mark, and then once more. Then that gives us this crease. So then we just do the same on this side and then connect them up. So I'm going to flip paper around so the top is now at the bottom, and just repeat the process. Like so. Now we have made this crease and this crease. So we just connect both ends for two long lines all the way across. Now that we have made those creases, an easy way to do it is just fold those two bits down and then fold it up and connect them. So turn it around, flip it up, and then do it again. So I'm going to colour these in, and then it will be a lot easier to see, and then we can continue. Now that we have made these creases, we've coloured them in, it's a lot easier to see. Now you don't actually need this one right here, but it's a lot easier to make this, so it's easier to line up these creases, because it's difficult folding one edge over and having them both the exact same. This way you can make minor adjustments to make sure they are correct. Now we can continue. So this section right here, which is right here, if we look and count, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we are going to divide this section into 4, but not all the way. So a good little gap here and then a little gap here. So this section right here in 4s. This way is easier. Again, be as accurate as possible. I'll just stop right there. And then up to this crease. And then the last part. I'm just going to flip the paper over and fold this crease to the top. Now that we have divided this section into 4. What we're going to do now is, if we look at the first crease down, this one here, and if we go all the way along, we see that it hits the diagonal that we made at the very start. Well, I already made it, but it hits this diagonal, and this gives us this little reference point. So one crease down, all the way across. When it hits the diagonal, we're going to make this crease here by folding this edge onto the diagonal and starting the crease where this little intersection is. So one crease down, all the way to the diagonal, and I'm just going to fold this up. I'm not going to go all the way up because the crease ends right here on this line, but we don't have that yet, so I'm just going to stop it roughly about there. So let's next make this one here. So if we fold this edge up to this edge, create the bisector, where it hits crease number 2, we stop, and then up to here. So this edge to this edge. And where it hits crease number 2, so that's crease number 1, number 2 is here. And we unfold, and then where it hits crease number 2, we are just going to make it extend it up to this little intersection which we have. So from here to here, and then we can colour in, but not just yet. Now we just make, so this is crease number 1, and then we just connect a line from there to here. So I'm going to colour this in and show you exactly what we did. Now that we have made these pieces, it's a lot more satisfying when you have it all coloured in, and it makes it easier to see them. So now that we have these, I have coloured it in on the crease pattern. What we're going to do next is we are going to extend these creases going down, so they come across the way, hit the diagonal, and then go down. So we're going to make these ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So how we do that is we just fold up on that crease, and then we just remake these valley folds. Again, to be as precise as possible when doing this. Like that. Or if it is easier, you can fold it up and extend them as they go down. Now that we have those 1, 2, 3 and 4, even though 4 isn't fully needed, we will still make it. So we have this little gap here. Now if we just take this edge and fold it to this edge and extend this crease up to where it hits the diagonal, we get a very good reference point right here, so we're going to do that. So this is the little gap right here. If we just fold it up to that point and extend it up where it hits the diagonal right here. Now that we have done that, what you're going to do is repeat everything that we've done on this side, on this side. Now that we have done both sides, we can continue. So what we're going to do now is just quickly make this crease right here. So where this diagonal meets this one here, we're just going to extend it across to the edge of the paper. Just like that. I'll just quickly follow this point, stop the gap. And then we're just going to do the same other side. I'm just going to color it in. Now we can make this long diagonal from connecting this intersection straight across to this one here. So we're going to make a crease from where my thumbs are at. Hope you can see it. Starting from this point right here, all the way to this one. Now that we have made this long diagonal, what we're going to do now is simply connect a crease from this point to this point. Just like that. And like that. Now, what we're going to do next is we want to try and find this reference point right here, this crease going straight down. In fact, I'll turn it this way so it's easier to see. So it's not any of the angled creases, it's this one. Yeah, I'm showing it correct here. This one going straight down. So what can we do before I show you? In fact, let me turn it this way because this is the way to do it. No, not it is this way. Right, so what can we do to find out this crease? From the creases that we have made, what can we do? We are looking for a way to make this crease. So I'll give you a couple of seconds, and if you can figure it out, congratulations. If not, I will show you right now. But pause the video if you want to give it a shot. So what we do is, if we turn it like this, and if we look and see that this crease extends straight across to this one, we just need to make a bisector by folding this edge to this crease and continue all the way up until we hit this black line and stop it there. So we're going to do that. So this edge to here, and we're going to extend this diagonal bisector up until we hit the black line. that. Now what this does is, where this crease hits the top line, which is this top one that's coloured in, that then gives us this reference to make a crease going straight down. So we're going to make that one. So if we turn the paper like this, and where this diagonal hits this first crease, we're going to make one going straight up. This sounds small, so I'll do this. And then straight up until we hit the line, and then stop it there. And now we have this. So if you noticed, I did not colour in this part of the crease simply because we do not need it. So I only want to colour in the parts that we do need, so it is less confusing for you to follow. So this part here, I did not colour in. But this is what we have made, and then we can use it to continue. So if we turn the paper, the crease pattern like this, and then this crease that we made with this one, sorry, not that one, this one here. So if we take this top crease and then this one, fold them together and then extend this line all the way up until we hit the top. So we're going to do that. So this crease here, and then this one here, going straight across, not this one here. So we make a crease going straight up. So a good way is to turn it, start your crease at the reference point, and then just line up the paper. So you can do that way and then crease it, or you can make both mount and fold. Whatever way is easiest, whatever way is most accurate. So I'll just show you anyway, just in case you never knew. No, I do think the first way will be better. And then you would fold both. Yeah, we don't have this crease continued, so I'm going to go with the first way. Start the crease there, line up the diagonal, and then straight across. And then take this edge, fold it to the crease we just made to make a crease from this point to this point. Like that. Now that we have done that, that's what we have. Now just do everything again that we just did on this side, on the left hand side. Now that we have both sides done, what we're going to do next is connect up two edges, so these two right here, we're going to make a crease right here, and then a crease right here between these two. So I'm just going to colour these in to save me making them, but of course you need to make them. next, what we're going to do is make these 45-degree creases. So there's 2 here and then 2 here. So we're going to do that. So what we do is hold the paper like this. We're going to make them right here. So we're just going to fold along this crease. And then we're just going to take this edge and fold it onto this edge. This way it creates both at the same time. Normally I wouldn't recommend this, but for the tutorial I'm doing it. And then make a crease. And if we unfold it, then go to the other side and then do the exact same. So this crease onto this crease. Just like that. There we go. We have made those creases, and now what we're going to do is simply again connect a line on each end of them, here, there and there. Now that we have this, what we are going to do next is make a crease from this point to this point, which is on this crease pattern. From this intersect, from this point here to this point, but we're only going to make the crease from inside this rectangle. So from here to here, we're just going to make one inside. So, and then we are going to connect the edge of that crease that we just made all the way up to this intersection right here. So the edge of this crease right here, we have made those creases. What we're going to do is, for the last set of creases that I'm going to show you how to make before I let go of your hand, is this large rectangle right here. Which is the other way. Yeah. So this one right here, we are going to divide into 8 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 all the way down for this long rectangle. This one right here. And once you have done that, you will have this. So now I have shown you everything that you need to go ahead and continue to make the rest of the creases. I know you can do this, it may be tricky, but look at what's been given, look how you can use them to your advantage, and then go from there. Pre-crease it all, you got this. And I will see you all in part 2, where I will probably just be like a collapse somewhat tutorial, and I'll think about it when I get to it. But anyway, that is it for the first part of this model, and I will see you in the next part.